The Mario Brothers are back for an all-new adventure, but this time their next journey takes them to the stars. Tighten up those overalls, folks, we're going galactic. The review for the Super Mario Galaxy movie is coming your way right now. Greetings gamers and welcome to the latest edition of the Porter Report. My name is BJ Porter and I hope everybody is having an amazing day today. For all of my returning viewers, it is wonderful to see you all again, and for all my first timers out there, welcome, and we hope you enjoy everything that this video and channel has to offer. Spring is in the air as we begin the second quarter of 2026. Dude, how is that even possible right now? Regardless, the subject of today's Porter Report movie review, the segment where I express my thoughts and opinions about the movies that I see and enjoy, is a big one to say the least. Gaming is such a huge part of a lot of people's lives. It shapes their imagination and pushes the boundaries of creativity, innovation, and in some cases, storytelling. The genre has its fair share of icons, but few of them are more iconic than the fiery Brooklyn plumbers with a knack for the heroic. Today, I'm giving you guys the official review for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic, and starring the voice cast of Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Jack Black, Anya Taylor-Joy, Keegan-Michael Key, Benny Safdie, Luis Guzman, Issa Rae, Glenn Powell, Academy Award winner Brie Larson, and Donald Glover. The Super Mario Brothers have been such a historic staple in Nintendo history and gaming history in general since their debut 40 years ago. With a library of content that spans multiple generations, these two brothers are the true definition of pop culture icons. That status seems to have extended to the big screen as well. After an initial attempt in the 90s, which I will admit has reached cult status in recent years, the Super Mario Brothers made a return to the big screen courtesy of Universal Pictures and Illumination, the same studio that brought you Despicable Me, and the plethora of Minions movies that includes the one coming out this summer. That film, titled The Super Mario Brothers Movie, released in 2023 and had the task of restoring faith in video game film adaptations. As for the results, well, let's see. It became the 15th highest grossing movie of all time, the 3rd highest grossing animated film of all time, and it was also the 2nd highest grossing movie of 2023. So yeah, I think it did pretty good. Speaking for myself, I had an absolute blast with this movie when it came out 3 years ago. The amount of love and passion in every single frame, coupled with the fast-paced action and comedy, made it such a fun and nostalgic trip that was also littered to the brim with so many incredible gaming references, with a few notable ones that had me literally geeking out in that theater. If only I knew back then what I know now. Jumping to present day, fans prepare for the next installment in the film franchise that takes its name and inspiration from the 2007 Nintendo Wii Classic, with a couple of nods to other titles as well. The film titled The Super Mario Galaxy Movie features the return of beloved characters, and the film debut of a few notable fan favorites. After such a strong opening level, can Mario and Luigi's interstellar follow-up deliver an equally great secondary one? Well, I say, what are we waiting for? Let's go find the nearest green pipe and dive in to find out. Here we go, guys! The Porter Report movie review for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Within the vibrant dwellings of the Mushroom Kingdom, peace and security have gradually become the new norm. The citizens have two special individuals to thank for that. Following their victory over the tyrannical Bowser, Mario and Luigi have settled into their new home within the Mushroom Kingdom, traveling the land and helping out within the various regions. Things are going well for the brothers, until the sins of the past come back to haunt them. Determined to exact revenge on the pesky plumbers for the defeat of the once mighty fire-breathing king of the Koopas, Bowser's vengeful offspring Bowser Jr. has traveled across the galaxy to free his father from imprisonment. Knowing that he will stop at nothing to bring chaos and destruction to this world and the ones beyond, Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, and Toad must set out on a literal out-of-this-world quest to save their world and many others. They find themselves encountering other unlikely allies on their quest, including an abandoned green dinosaur named Yoshi and a mysteriously powerful magic-wielding princess named Rosalina. Together, they set out on a stargazing frontier that will show them that the many galaxies they believe were out of reach are a lot closer than they could have possibly imagined. Serving as the highly anticipated follow-up to the 2023 animated smash hit, Illuminations and Nintendo are back to deliver the next chapter of Mario and Luigi's epic story in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Building off the momentum of the action-packed first installment, the sequel expands the world and the lore by introducing new characters, some of which are very familiar and beloved, thus fleshing out the cinematic iteration of one of the most celebrated universes in modern gaming. Now that I've traversed this vast collection of galaxies with the heroic plumbers and their friends, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is expansive and nails all of the things that made its predecessor such a standout. This film delivers all of the candy-coated sights and sounds of nostalgia that have been a strong selling point of these films since the beginning. That being said, it also reveals some things that could prove problematic if they aren't addressed in the current early stages of what some people are calling the next big interconnected cinematic universe. In terms of the voice talent in the film, there is very little to complain about on that front. As many of you already know, the voice cast of these movies is absolutely insane, with some of the most elite talent being recruited to bring these iconic characters to life. But one of the things I love about this film and its predecessor is how everybody buys in and truly commits to the assignment. Chris Pratt and Charlie Day truly are embracing their roles as Mario and Luigi, as the two of them are fully immersed in these interpretations. Pratt's version of Mario is just as lovable and likable as he was in the previous film, while Luigi is equally good despite not being given much to do this go around. I will say that in terms of character development, it's Princess Peach who stands out the most. You see more layers to her and you dive deeper into her backstory, which truly fleshes out the character even further than in the previous installment. The development of her relationship with Mario is a great evolution from the first movie, as they create a terrific tandem and dynamic that results in some of the film's best moments. As for Jack Black's second outing as Bowser, he continues to be the scene stealer in all facets of the role. He himself has some pretty good character development, even if at times it's played for laughs. While it was great to see some of the original players return and deliver in their sophomore outings, I was really interested in the new members of the ensemble and what they would bring to the table. I'm happy to report that none of them disappoint. Penny Safdie was so much fun to watch as Bowser Jr. There were a ton of things done to make him such a unique force on screen that set him apart from his father. From his childlike motivations and desires to his fast and frenetic fighting style, Bowser Jr. was a really cool antagonist who delivered in a multitude of ways. As for our dynamite reptilian Yoshi, I absolutely have to sing the praises of Donald Glover for the work he did in bringing this character to life on screen. This was one of the more surprising casting choices, even more so than the ones from the first film. However, it is clear from the jump that Glover bought in and as a result delivered an authentic and downright lovable version of this character that fits right into the world and the story being told. Brie Larson does well with what little she's given to do with Rosalina, with Luis Guzman and Issa Rae being fun cameos as King Wart and Honey Queen. This now brings me to one of the more talked about characters in the film, that being Fox McCloud, played by Glenn Powell. As one of my favorite characters in Nintendo lore, I was shocked, surprised, excited, and intrigued to see not only how he would fit into the story, but how he would be presented in the story visually and as a character. After seeing the film, quite a bit has been revealed. It should be known that this version of Fox is truly Illumination's interpretation of the character. How you feel about that will depend solely on your view of Illumination's style of storytelling, which does lean more into the comedic. Despite me being initially caught off guard by the character's unserious portrayal, Glenn Powell, like all the other members of the cast, fits right in. You can clearly tell he's having a ball with this role and truly understands the assignment of bringing this specific version of Fox to life. This does bring me to an element of the movie that has me both excited and also concerned at the same time. The identity of these movies has been pretty well established at this point. They are meant to evoke a childlike essence that thrills and excites. But problems arise when the danger of that not being good enough to carry a film all the way through start to seep in. The movie is fast-paced and packed to the brim with action, with a few set pieces that truly are stunning and surprisingly imaginative. It truly feels like the games come to life in more ways than one. All that said, the storytelling itself does lack in a number of aspects. It's easy to love these characters mainly because you've grown up with them for decades. But I feel like an opportunity is being missed by not doing more to add nuance and layers to them that fleshes them out in ways the games never did or could do. This is a new avenue for them, and if they could evolve in the film sense in ways that will elevate them as actual narrative characters and not just colorful mascots, these movies could be their own unique entity while still having them be the lovable icons you know. I'm not saying that these movies are not fun to watch, because truly they are. I just believe more can be done to truly take this film franchise to the next level, especially if you're planning on making room for more characters from Nintendo's vast library. All in all, the Super Mario Galaxy movie knew exactly what it wanted to give its audience and delivered on that promise. Despite some minor issues with the film as a whole, it should be noted that I had a great time from start to finish. The joy this film and its preceding entry gave me was immense and has me excited about all of the endless possibilities of what could be on the horizon for Nintendo and Illumination's brand of cinematic storytelling. While this level had its fair share of rough patches, the next chapter in the cinematic portrayal of the heroic plumbers is a shining star for the inner child longing for an embrace. The Super Mario franchise has been such an iconic staple in gaming for decades, but it is clear that things, no pun intended, seem to have been taken to the next level. The The partnership between Illumination and Nintendo may have just birthed something that a lot of people have been asking for. That being a cinematic universe that could very well rival another one that also features a collection of iconic characters and media. If you're not already convinced of that, then the Super Mario Galaxy movie should be a clear indication of where things might be heading. This movie is the pure definition of joy incarnate. What I think makes these movies such a must-see event is the fact that you can tell in every single frame that these animators at Illumination have such a love, respect, and passion for these characters and their worlds. Every sound effect, every musical note, every visual reference, and every character put on display are brought to life in the studio style but maintain the core traits that fans know and love. That goes for the characters within the Super Mario universe and the ones that are not. While we're on the subject of non-Super Mario characters being introduced in the franchise, this does bring me to something that I believe is worth noting. That being those characters being presented in this particular style. While I believe that Illumination is the perfect studio to bring characters like Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, Bowser, and Donkey Kong to life, there might be a couple of characters within Nintendo lore that some people may struggle seeing presented in this way. That's not to say that these can't be fun interpretations. I just believe it's something to consider if Illumination and Nintendo are planning to add more toys to the sandbox. This brings me to the other statement that I want to make, which is Nintendo and Illumination can absolutely pull off a Super Smash Bros. Movie. The way that both of these movies capture and shoot action is tailor-made for the type of full tilt chaos that makes that game so beloved. If that movie is truly on the table, it has the potential to be a cinematic event on the same level as an Avengers movie. That, of course, is way down the line, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. In the end, guys, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, much like the Super Mario Bros. Movie, just made me happy. Is it narratively strong? Not really. Is it the best example of top-notch storytelling? Nah. Did it put a big old smile on my face from beginning to end? Without a shadow of a doubt, and honestly, that is all it needed to do. Of course, there are better animated movies out there that deliver great action and top-notch storytelling in the same package. But animated films like this that solely exist to bring you joy are just as important. Regardless of what the critics have to say, how the movie makes you feel is more important than the opinion of somebody else. If there is anything that I want you to take away from this review, it's this tidbit right here. Do not deprive yourself of a potentially joyful experience just because somebody else didn't get what they wanted out of it. Art is subjective for a reason. It all depends on the lens you're looking through. But that's just my take on the movie, so how about I hear from all of you guys? Sound off in the comments below your thoughts about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, but be mindful of anything that could potentially be seen as a spoiler. I am being very serious about this spoiler warning, guys. The last thing I want is for some of the biggest surprises in the movie to be spoiled in the comment section. Please do your absolute best to be respectful to those who won't be able to see the movie until later. There is so much to be excited about when it comes to this franchise, and I can't wait to see what's in store for the brothers and this potential cinematic universe next. As always, keep it locked to the channel for more videos and reviews throughout the remainder of 2026 and beyond. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend to stop on by. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day, and until the next review, I'm BJ Porter, and this has been The Porter Report.